Hello and welcome everybody to a new video of ELUNE. So yeah, today it's more like of a fun video because we are just going to melt down all the bosses that we have. So first we'll start out with the trend, and yeah, I thought it's like pretty fun to see how the game has changed like over the last 4 weeks, because now the game is released for over 4 weeks, and yeah, it's actually going pretty good for me, I have to say, because as you all know, I'm completely free to play, and as you will see in a second, I don't have any kinds of problems with all these bosses, so I'm just melting them away. So it took me like around 20 minutes to finish off all of them, with all loading times and switching teams and all that stuff. So I would say around 15 minutes for all the bosses, if you just calculate down the fight time, let's say, at the boss. So this is actually pretty easy. I mean, the trend boss is one of the easiest, then also the T3 is pretty easy, because the only thing you really have to do is to stun him. And then probably what most people that are Caroline users don't know, if you use like Caroline with Wei together, then you should always try to keep up the S2 and also the S3 of Wei, because then she's going to do way more damage, the Caroline. As you can see, I'm always with the 2 attack buffs at least. Sometimes I also get a third one. And yeah, all you have to do in this case is like to put S2 and then just once do the S3, because the S3 is always going to get another turn, or like the buff increases for 1 turn if you use a special or ultimate skill. So therefore you're only using the S2, so this buff is like consistently increasing in turns, so you never lose 1 turn, because you turn, then you get another turn on this buff, and the attack buff will stay there forever as long as you use the S2 or S3 of like any of your ELUNEs. So if you're going to use like your S2 on Chloe Van, it's also gonna stay there for another 2 turns, and if you use the S3, it's the same thing. You only lose a turn or like 1 turn of the buff if you use the S1. So as you can see, we already melted the trend. It was pretty fast actually, even if I was not that super happy with the damage output. It was also on this boss, it was not like 100% the damage that I expected, because I can do way more damage, but it always comes down like to Caroline. If Caroline does the S2 and does the magic damage penetration, then she's doing way more damage than she does on normal hits. So you will see this in a moment, because at the one or the other boss I will have this magic penetration for sure, and then you will see that it's or like the M defense down of the boss. Then you will see that we do tons of damage to the boss actually. So as you can see, we did a 250,000 here, and yeah, actually we can do way more. It's like up to 330 or something, I guess. I don't know, I have some of the highest damage outputs I have screenshotted anyways, just to show the people in Discord to our guild, because we are always posting like strategies and stuff. So as you can see, it was the same again, 253,000 exactly, and yeah, there goes the T3. So off to the next one, it's Imai. He is taking a little bit longer because of his stages and stuff, so you have to care about the stages, what you are doing exactly, but he is also not that hard at the end of the day, so you just have to be sure to have a pretty good setup. I would say the main ELUNEs that you want to use for this are Chloe, Van and Reyna, because you can like control the bosses over the whole fight, so you can like stun them, and you can also restrain them, so they cannot do anything to you most of the time. I mean, sometimes they resist. It also happens to me in this fight. You will see it in a moment, and sorry, and there you will see that it could turn out that you get some problems. But if you run with Fabian, in this case, it's yeah, not that big of a deal if he's like resisting 1 or 2 like debuffs, let's say the stuns or something. Then you don't have any problems, because if one of your ELUNE is going to die, then you can get him up again with Fabian and you can just continue doing the damage, and therefore you will not have any problems to finish this off. So by the way, while we are watching this fight, I just have to tell you that, as you can see, my green screen is still not working. I really don't know why, because as you can see on the top right here, it's always like, I don't know, pixels or stuff going on. I don't know why. And yeah, I was like streaming and all that stuff, but I took a break from streaming and also doing videos for a certain amount of time. And yeah, I don't know, somehow I didn't change anything, but now it's not like working 100%, so I hope it's not like too annoying to see this thing in the over my head there. Doing some weird stuff. I don't know if I like turn a little bit and stuff, then it goes away. If not, I don't know, I have no clue. Now the camera is not like focusing on me. Here I am. By the way, so yeah, as you can see, Imai pretty easy. The only thing you have to care about on this boss is if you get him down to a 70%, you should look out for the real big damage, so you can skip the phase 3 actually. So you want to get him as close as possible to 70% and then just do Chloe Van S3 on him, so he instantly drops down underneath 65%, because then he's going to skip the 3rd phase and you will have a way easier fight at the end of the day. So that's the only thing you have to care about. And then what I do most of the time is I use my S2 with Freya, so I shield them up, and then I can also attack the left boss with all the magic damage ELUNEs that I have, because it's yeah, it doesn't do any damage to me, and also with the Fabian you have the passive heal going on, so you won't take any damage as long as they don't move. You're always safe, so you're always on the safe side. So there I'm just like playing it a little bit slower and safer, let's say. So as you can see, he resisted now, and we will also get one free, I guess, later, or he's like going to resist. He did resist before, that's for sure, and I don't know if he's going to resist right now, because I just only record the video like 20 minutes ago, because I just wanted to see if everything turns out well, because I don't wanted to show you some stuff that is not working at the end of the day. But I'm running these teams like over and over again since weeks, I would say. The only thing I did change on the Imai team is actually the Kai. I put in Kai. Before him I had Nezari, and before Nezari I was using the Aslan. And yeah, for now it's just, I mean, Kai is way better than Nezari, because Nezari you can only really use the S1, and if you use the S2 you have the problem, it's also a channeling skill, so you have to wait one more round, and then it's the skill that decreases also the P defense, so the physical defense will be decreased, so you are going on the left of these Imai bosses. And if you are going to do always the S2, you will get resisted a lot of times, and therefore he gets up this, what it's called in English, oh damn, I lost the words. So he's getting up his resistances then, and if you want to put then the stun on him or the restrain, you will get resisted way more often if you put too many debuffs on him, or if you try to put more debuffs on him. And that's a big problem, so I'm just like going for the pure damage here to finish them off as quickly as possible, and it always works out pretty well. And as you can see, the team, you will never run like into a complete fail with a team like this, because you have you have the stun, you have the restrain, you have from Freya, you have the barrier, you have also the S3 with complete immunity to damage. Then you have the Fabian, which can heal and also revive, so you will probably, let's say, never fail, even if they are resisting sometimes. I mean, you could fail, but yeah, this has to be a real unlucky run. So let's say they have to like resist all of your stuns and restraints, so that is not going to happen. Then yeah, this boss also meltdown. So now we are off to the next one. So Iscariot is a pretty easy boss, I have to say, because as you can see, I'm not using like any sort of like special thing on him. It's like my I would call it like rather my main boss team, I would call it, because it's like I'm using more or less always the same, like probably switch out 1 or 2 ELUNEs at most, but that's about it. And as you can see, we are getting the restrain right away, and now it's just like time to put the huge amounts of damage on him and get him down to the 40% where he's going into phase 2. And yeah, I also managed it with my Caroline, that even the Caroline can survive this one AoE hit that he does, and yeah, then he's done anyways. So this is actually pretty nice. So as you can see, we are putting a good amount of damage on him. Not that crazy numbers again. I don't know, today he didn't want to give me that crazy numbers, because when he is like down in M defense, he's going to receive way more damage. That's for sure. But yeah, it didn't work out today, but yeah, I thought I will also show you these runs, because I guess it's pretty interesting how it turns out like after 2 weeks, because 2 weeks ago everyone was like, oh, how can I somehow finish this boss on stage 10? Oh, it's so hard. Damn, he resisted this and he resisted that, and now I'm dead, and I failed on this try and I failed on another try, and now 2 weeks later it's like, okay, go in and just melt them, like and they are completely dead. So this is actually pretty funny to say. So as you can see, yeah, he's going down pretty good on a 26%, and now I'm like just waiting again and buffing up again to do the S2 of Caroline again. So now S2 Caroline, S3 of Chloe Van. This was actually also a pretty bad one, because there was nearly no damage, but this was a better one of Caroline, as you saw, like 245,000 damage. That's okay, I have to say. And yeah, he's also gone, and we are off to the next one. And yeah, the next one is also one of my, let's say, more favorite bosses. I mean, he takes quite a while, because you cannot just go full damage on him, but I'm doing it anyways, because I don't care if I like lose one of my ELUNEs, because it doesn't really matter. If you look or take a closer look at this fight now, because you have on the right side, you have this barrel which is filling up if you hit him, and on the left barrel it's only increasing the amount of life this barrel has, or whatever, like this bar that fills up if he hits you. So if he is going to give you damage, then the left barrel is going to go up. But yeah, as you can see, it's actually pretty hard to keep them equal. So because if you're not running a lot of healers in this case, and you're doing a lot of damage, then it's hard to keep the right barrel down. So what I'm going to do here is like, yeah, just go crazy on him, yeah. Just put everything you have on him and bang, yeah, let's go for it. Just give him everything you have, and then the right barrel will be on max at this bar, so the bar will increase to its maximum, and then he's just going to do AoE damage all the time, because as you can see now, he is doing a single target attack, and after this he's doing an AoE attack. But if you have the red barrel completely filled up, then he's going to do an AoE strike every time. So you will see it in a second. When it's his turn, he will do this AoE strike, and then you can also see that the left barrel is slowly filling. So now the only thing you have to do, because you cannot do any damage to him because he's not in the next phase, so he's on the 60% and he will stay on the 60% because he is immune to any damage. So what I'm going to do is just like to look out for that all my loons stay alive and wait till this left barrel is filled. And then if we now get these 5 tags above our heads, you see this little violet tags, and when we have 5 of these tags, he is going to kill one of my ELUNEs, and this is like a non-revive-able kill, so the one that gets killed you cannot revive anymore. So as you can see, I'm just like doing my stuff and just waiting on the left barrel to fill up, which is now close. And yeah, it was like unlucky that there is like missing just a little bit, so he's not going into phase 3 now, and he is going to kill my Freya. But it does not matter, because as I told you before, it's a pretty easy boss, and if you're running with Fabian, it's not that big of a deal, because you can put out tons of damage with the Caroline and with the Chloe Van, and then you just have to look out that not both of them are dying, because if both are dead, then you've probably lost. But as long as you can keep one of them alive and can revive the other one, then you will have no problems to finish off this boss. So as you can see, it takes some time now to put him down, and then we did a full hit with Caroline. But then as you can see, he is going to do this revenge attack, because if not every single attack hits as crit, he is going to revenge attack you, and therefore he is going to gain some life back, and he would have been in the next stage or in the next phase, let's say, because on the other oh damn, my English is fucking up again, under the 20%, if he did hit you enough, then he is going to go to the next phase. So as you can see now, he's underneath that 20%, he's going to phase 3, and all you have to do now is just look to finish him as quickly as possible, because he will attack you and he will also gain life. So he's attacking on a life steal base, so if you are not doing any crits now on him, then you should better swap your turns, because it's not worth it like to attack him, because if you're not going to crit him, he will revenge attack you, and if he's going to revenge, then yeah, he's going to fill up his health again, as you see right now. Also, if he's doing like this AoE attack, then he's also going to get life back, and if this is going on and on and on, then he will always gain life back from you, so you will have a hard time to finish him. So it's the best way to do it is like to keep the Caroline S2 and the Chloe Van S3, put them both together on him, if possible close at the same time or in the same round, let's say, and then you will have no problem to finish him off. So then to Damocles, also not that hard, I would say. I mean, sure, he is one of the harder ones, but if you understand what he is doing, he's actually also pretty easy to finish. So what I'm doing here is just making sure that the Fabian is always getting this cover from the fire as often as possible, and ELUNE is anyways getting it if you attack the boss, because she's passively healing everyone, and so she gets this fire cover anyways. And then I'm just like going to put as much damage as possible on the boss. And the only hard time I have here is in phase 3, because in phase 3 he's likely to attack my Caroline, and he often kills my Caroline, and then it takes just a little bit longer, because it makes no sense like to revive her all the time, because if he's going for Caroline, I don't know, somehow he's going for Caroline then all the time. So you revive her and he is killing her again, you revive her and he is killing her again. So it's like it makes no sense, and so therefore I just like do the random S1s of all these healers and buffers on him, and he's also going to die because he's taking a lot of damage, and yeah, he's not putting out that high of a damage to kill all these. It's just like he can kill Caroline pretty easy because she's not affected by the Weiwei S2 buff. So that's the only reason that you have a little bit of a harder time with Caroline. I could probably use some other DPS here, but yeah, I don't want to miss out on that damage. I mean, I have a completely maxed out Caroline, so I don't want to miss out the damage, because it's pretty crazy most of the time. As you saw before at the other bosses, she's melting them right away. And also here, as you can see, it's also pretty nice, the damage output that Caroline does. So we can just like wait for the next attack. As you see, 155,000. I mean, it's not like super crazy. I've done way more to all of these bosses actually. It's like a bad video to show you the damage output, but at least I could show you like all the bosses and how you can obtain to do them on an easy way, I would say. Because even if you don't have that maxed out Caroline, it's no problem. I mean, you can do this with every other ELUNE as well. You just need to do some damage, but yeah, at the end of the day it will only like take like 1 minute longer or something like that, but it doesn't really matter, because you just want to make sure to clear all these boss stages every day, so you get your rewards, you get your rings and amulets, what I'm hunting for actually, because yeah, I'm missing some rings and amulets still to equip all my ELUNEs that I have, or that I'm using mostly. So this is just what I'm going for every day. And as you can see, this is like the last hit, and he's also finished. And yeah, that was melting the bosses with the captain. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, hope to see you soon in the next video. I will do the boss video, the world boss video, tomorrow, because I have to wait for the reset. And then probably I can also give you some advice, or like some other teams and strategies on the world boss to put out even more damage. So yeah, as always, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and leave a comment down below in the comment section if you have some questions, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.